Hey guys, welcome to my new Let's Play for Unity of Command. It's a strategic level World War II Eastern Front campaign between the Germans and the Russians for the Battle of Stalingrad. And it's a bunch of series of battles that lead up to the Battle of Stalingrad, the large Battle of Stalingrad, and then a bunch of battles as the Russians push the Germans back in. There's a campaign mode which I'll deal with later, but right now I'm going to look at the scenarios, and there's a lot of them. It'll start. I already did a tutorial. It's a one-turn thing. So we're going to start today in the introductory scenario, but as you go through you can see they get harder and harder, and you play both sides. For the scenarios you can play either side, and you just kind of go down and you can see they get harder as you go, and basically they add more and more to the depth of the game. You can do more units, you have more abilities. It does have a multiplayer aspect, which only has one currently scenario. It's a fairly new game. I believe it came out in May of 2012, and it actually is also for Mac. That's kind of a cool thing. And then you have all. Basically, this game is an old school chick game. It's a pretty interface, and you'll see little explosions, but it's not like my combat mission games, so it's going to be a lot more boring than that. It's going to be more of me talking and moving stuff around than it will be of watching tanks shoot at each other, because it's a strategic level. It's division and core, which is basically thousands of men on each side. I know each hex is 20 kilometers across, so it's an abstract representation. So if that's not something you're interested in, you might want to wait until I have PT boats will be coming out fairly soon, and that's a active game you can see, and I also have more combat mission which will be coming. So we're going to start with the introductory scenario, and I'm going to try to walk through the steps of the game. I got the instructions, and I've actually never played all the way through, but I'm familiar with the game type. I do know the game is incredibly accurate for supply lines and stuff, so you have to always kind of keep an eye out where your supplies are. But once I get through all the scenarios, then I'll do a campaign. You play either side in this game. It's not a focus on either German view or Russian view. So we'll look at the first scenario's introductory. Crimea, June 7th, 1942. This is the introductory scenario. It features a guide through some of the more advanced mechanics in Unity of Command. Historical setting: the Germans complete the expulsion of Soviet forces from the Crimea prior to the beginning of their campaign proper. It's a 7-turn long campaign. The actual turn, if I wasn't walking through it with you and just doing it, would probably take me less than 15 minutes. It's a fairly quick, that part is fairly quick, and since there's not a huge number of units and it's a small area, it's not like there's a lot of maneuver, and it's a very small turn. The AI is the opponent, so we'll just start the scenario, so we go from there. I do like the weight bar as it loads up. Okay, so I'm going to read you the introductory briefing like I do with a lot of my other games. Crimea scenario briefing. June 7th, 1942. This is the introductory scenario. It features a guide through some of the more advanced mechanics in Unity of Command. Yes, I know this sounds familiar. Historical setting: Germans complete the expulsion of Soviet forces from the Crimea prior to the beginning of their campaign proper. We're going to get 4 air assets, and what this basically means is every turn I get 4 air attacks. Air attacks, unlike a tactical game where you have individual tanks, don't necessarily do a lot of kills. Instead, they suppress the enemy unit, and you basically use them as you're going to attack or defend against being attacked. You use it, and then you'll basically follow up with infantry or armor. And it says air attack 1 enemy unit. Tip: you can toggle super tool tips from the game menu. I have no idea what that means. We'll figure it out together. Okay, so the OKH dispatch. OKH is German High Command for the Wehrmacht Army. DSS somewhat worked under OKH, but everybody always thinks of them as one and the same. The SS was a different army for a long time, and the Wehrmacht was a standard German army, so a lot of people mix them up. Okay, so the dispatch says Soviet forces in the Kerch Peninsula are disorganized and under poor leadership. Strike there first, then turn your attention to the fortress at Sevastopol. And I really am horrible with names. Victory: I need to do this in 7 turns. To get a decisive victory, it needs to be in 4 turns. And for a brilliant victory, I must capture every objective on time. The scoring: remaining prestige is added to the score. Requisition from OKH reserve only when you really need to. Scenario notes: this is the introductory scenario. You should complete this tutorial to cover the basics before. You should complete the previous tutorial to cover the basics before attempting this. So we'll hit continue. Now, the first thing I was going to kind of tell you guys is the real battle was called the Battle of Kerch. It started on May 8th, 1942 and wrapped up around May 18th, 1942. The Red Army lost over 170,000 men killed or taken prisoner, and 3 armies, the 44th, the 47th, and the 51st, were lost with 21 divisions. And basically what you're seeing here is this is the 51st, 44th, and 47th armies. So historically, if I was to follow through, I would basically destroy everything here. But it is my first game, and you know, video games don't work out quite the same as history. I can tell you that after the battle, that some of the group of Soviet survivors, they refused to surrender, and they fought for many months. There's a series of caves all over, and many of these soldiers occupied caves for the months afterwards. And they also got together with the citizens of Kerch, who fled from the Germans as well. So basically, I'm trying to think what else we need to know before we start. Oh, I'm going to kind of show you what the unit numbers mean. And I'm going to try not to accidentally press an attack before I'm done figuring this out. So you have the base. This is the base layout. Kerch, you normally would have it by turn 2 for your goal, and Sevastopol by turn 4 for your goal. And if you get all these objectives, you get 200 points. And then the remaining prestige will be 100. So if I keep all my prestige and don't order reinforcements, I can have a total of up to 300 points. So basically, when you look at a unit, you'll see this is their attack rating, this is their defense rating, this is their unit rating, their movement rating, and it's their movement points, normal and extended, available to units of this type in each turn. You can move. Basically, what this means is you can move 3 hexes and then attack, or you can move a total of 4 hexes if you don't want to attack. And basically, you can also move after you attack. So if you only move 2 hexes, make an attack, you'll get your remaining movement points to move after. So you can follow up. Some units can make multiple attacks. And then this is your armor value. Like this unit has no armor. The attack of 2 is fairly low. The defense of 2 is fairly low, and that's a fairly normal movement. Now, the big difference, especially with Russian Soviet armies, is each unit has what's called steps, and it's these numbers, or these dots. And basically they take the power of the unit, divide it into those dots, and as basically they do kills against that unit, it will remove dots. And in order to figure out your attack value, you take the attack value, multiply it by the number of dots you have, and then you put it against the other units' dots and attack number, which is why sometimes you'll see German units with just a few dots, but they have a really high attack number, are just as powerful as like a large Russian army. But this is actually how the Russians were really good at things. They may not have had innately, individually, a high score, but there was just so many of them that they could just wave people. I know if you hit the control and you go over an enemy unit, it will tell you, like, basically it'll tell you the odds of harm. How do you... Okay, so we're still looking at this. I know when I select one of my units and then I hit control and hit the enemy unit next, it'll tell me the odds of hurting it, but I don't want to accidentally attack something until I'm done talking to you guys. Okay, so we got the force pool. This shows the bottom of the screen my available reinforcements. When I call in reinforcements, basically as I lose these, instead of getting new units with new icons, basically it refills these. So if you have like a base number of a large number of dots, you can lose a lot, but you can call in reinforcements, which can really be a pain in the ass for your enemy, or for you if they have that. So basically, what else do I need to do? Okay, see, force pools are what I have innately. This is what comes with the scenario or with the campaign. Doesn't cost me any prestige. Or I can do OKH reserve. If I pull anything from the OKH reserve, it reduces my prestige, which is right there. In campaign games, the prestige is what lets you buy new units, repair units. For scenarios, it just helps with score. Let's see, what else do we got? Okay, so if I select a unit, I can entrench a unit, which makes it more defensive. I can go through and basically this will go through the next unit and the previous unit, or now I guess it's the next reinforceable unit. You can use this to find out what units can be reinforced. Oh, and I guess I do have reinforceable units. Okay. This is, I can reorganize a unit. This basically will break my unit up and put it into dots down here that I can then put into other units. This is my show objectives. Those are my 2 objectives. Oh god, getting Kerch by turn 2, I'm not sure how the hell I can do that to be a brilliant victory, but we'll see. This is my supply lines. Basically, as the farther it goes out, the less supply it gets. It's important that they get to supply at the beginning of the round, because if you run out of supplies, you stop repairing damage, and you start running out of ammo and can't shoot, and you get more weak. And even if you run into the supplies, it doesn't take effects till the beginning next round. Okay, let's see. The next one is show terrain. Okay, you can see swamps, mountains. Don't need that. Show weather. Oh, hey, look, it's all cloudy and weathery over there. And then show, I don't even know what the hell that is. Show zones of control. Okay, the zones of control normally without that flag is tinted a different color for the Soviets than it is for the Germans. As you go in and start attacking things, you can actually cut people off from their supply just by running through behind them. And they won't have that supply line that I just showed you, and they'll start running out of supplies. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's take a look at the units. What I can tell you is the German units with the floppy hats are almost all what they would be supporting countries. Like, this is a Romanian infantry. I looked at the Romanian infantry division, looked them up, could not find them at all. If you notice, a really poor attack power, really poor defense power, no armor. They're basically cannon fodder. And I do a little bit feel bad, but not really. Then we got German infantry, which are usually pretty strong, average defense. But if you notice, they don't have as many dots as like the Russians. The Russians have more dots. That's how the Russians are able to match up. And then, of course, you have the panzer units. Armor, lots of movement, lots of defense, heavy attack. They usually roll through single Russian units. I haven't seen the Russian tanks. We'll see how that is. So now that I've kind of blabbered on it, you guys, for quite a while, I am gonna start the attack. First thing I'm gonna do is do some air attack to soften things up. I don't think I'm gonna capture Kerch by the second turn, so I don't know if I'll get the brilliant attack. But let's soften things up. Click that. Click on the unit I want to attack. Suppress 2. That's good. Okay, I can't see this, but supposedly the instructions say that the color changes when it's suppressed. So like if it's a 2 suppression, 2 of these dots would change to a gray. I don't see it, but that's because I'm colorblind. And that means it didn't do anything. We'll do this one, because we're going to try to hit both. Ooh, it actually killed the unit. I'm impressed. And the last attack, and 2 suppression. So now that they're suppressed, I can take my German unit. Let's see, where do we want to start? Where do we want to start? Okay, let's start with the 170th Infantry Division. To just kind of give you a brief review, I looked up the units that I could. There's actually not much about this division. It's a 170th Infantry Division. It's Wehrmacht, not SS. It was in existence the whole war. It was created in 1939 and lasted to May 8th, 1945, when Germany capitulated. Let's see how well they do. Okay, I killed 3 of them. Killed 3 of the enemy. Didn't hurt myself at all. And what I'm going to do is move back to allow other units in. So the next one I'll move in is the 46th Infantry Division. Okay, so the 46th Infantry Division invaded Poland in 1939 and then was held in reserve until May of 1940 in France. The division fought in the Loire Valley until the fall of France, and then when the invasion of the Soviet Union happened, the division was, of course, involved in the assault of Crimea in 1941. Okay, to give you a little background of this actual battle, while engaged in heavy fighting in the Kerch Peninsula, with Soviet landings both at the tip of the Kerch Peninsula and at Fedosia, which I believe is over in here. General von Sponek, who is the commander of this unit, gave the order to pull back. This order was countermanded by the 11th Army commander von Manstein, but since Sponek had already disassembled his wireless unit, the order to hold ground was not received. So basically they avoided being encircled when the Soviets first invaded, but because they didn't follow orders and hold the ground, the commander was actually tried and sentenced to death. But then Adolf Hitler commuted the sentence and reduced it to 7 years in prison. So just a little background on them. Wow, he did a lot better though. I'm not going to move him up. You can move them up normally, but I'm not going to move him up so I can move one of my other units in to make another attack. So I think we'll then use the 22nd Panzer Division. To just kind of give you a background on the 22nd Panzer Division, it was formed in September of 41 in France, and it was transferred to the Eastern Front in March of 1942. It is now May of 1942. The division lost a huge number, 40% of the personnel in March of 42 when they first met the Russians. The other thing it does reference is that it did take part in Unternhamen Troppengard Jagd, Operation Bustard Hunt, which is basically this whole battle is known as Operation Bustard Hunt. I'll probably put a little pop-up that shows you how to spell it. Didn't have any distinction either way about this, so we won't worry about it after. See, as I said, 10 attack, lots of units against theirs, really good. Sometimes you get a second attack. I'm not sure why or how, but okay. 132nd Infantry Division, I'm going to move it up. There's not much known about the 132nd Infantry Division. It was formed in October 1940 in Landshut and was destroyed in the Courland Pocket in 1945. Here, let's see if this will tell me how. Okay, so as I mouse over it, you'll see... Oh, see, I can't move my mouse. You see to your right, it'll say 1 to 1. I have 24 to his 14. My odds are 1. The odds are he'll lose 1, I'll lose 1. Oh, crap. I don't know. It's not worth it to me to make that attack, I don't think. Okay, let's just do it. Oh, wait. Let's move a... I can't move a guy up to support. Okay, so we'll just make the attack because we have a time limit. Oh, see, I lost more than one. So the computer tells you what it probably will be, but it lies. The computer is a big liar. Okay, I'm going to move all the rest of my troops. My Romanians, I don't know anything about. 22nd this is the Airborne Infantry Division. It says German Infantry, but they're Airborne Infantry Division. And actually, one of the few references is it helped attack Sevastopol. So 4-0. Oh, the odds are not good. Odds are not good. Oh, that's just going to be a butchery, but we're going to have to do it because we need to get Sevastopol. So, move him out of the way. I should have done the Romanian first. Oh, see? I'm getting my butt kicked over here, but I need to... I'll hold off. I'll do an air assault next round. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done. I'm going to move him to help support Sevastopol. Move people up. Because I can't move these guys away. Okay, that's it for this turn. We want to end... Oh, this is the scale. If you want to look at scale miles. I can get rid of the maps. Rid of the maps. Let's do grid. 20 kilometers across for each grid, and we'll end turn. Now we get to watch what the Russians will do. Soviets, I'm sorry. Let's reorganize. Oh, the odds are not good. No. First thing we do. We're just going to do air attacks on this. City is in ruins. I don't care. Ooh. I'm getting my ass kicked in Sevastopol. This is not cool. But that's kind of my fault. I think... Crap. Okay, let's just make the attack here. Hammered them. And I'm going to move my armor back here. I'm going to try to attack Sevastopol with it. Oh, I shouldn't have followed up. That was my fault. Okay, so now I'm just basically It's just a lot of damage to myself. Okay. Can I get anybody up into that forward hex? No. So basically, I'm just pushing up. This is not a lot of strategy. It's basically just hammering. And I'm not as familiar. I could have probably done better, but... Okay, we'll end turn here. So now, basically, I'm just going to be running through this quickly because I don't have a lot of units, not a lot of moving around. I don't think I'm going to hit the 4 turn objective. I might hit 7, but not the 4. Let's do some air attacks. Let's use the Romanians. Ah, shit, I'm not going to do much. Yeah, but I had to try. Oh, I shouldn't have moved him there. Yeah, this is not pretty. Can I reload? Can I... How do you do force pool? Okay, I can add steps. Add 3 steps to select unit. May be disabled because new unit selected. Wrong reinforcement type. Oh, yes! That's how you do reinforcement. Excellent. I'm going to add what I can. And I'm going to deploy 8 cavalry. Up there. Oh, this is awesome. I did not know that. This is a good way. Let's see. 6. So we want to add engineers. Oh, I can't add them yet. Let's see. Yep, I'll take 20 prestige and make him pioneer and move him over here. Move him out of the way so he doesn't get attacked. Okay, I guess I'm gonna... And I'll move him back. Just going to concentrate on taking someone down. Okay. Ah, this is where it stuck, because I'm kind of stuck here. Okay. I guess that's where we have to go for next. I don't think he can move. Oh, he can move. Okay. End turn. Oh yes, this is where this sucks. Okay, I want Sevastopol now, so we're gonna do some softening. We're gonna use it to soften everything up. I mean, I normally would try to divide it among their 2, but I really want Sevastopol. Ooh, looks like I'll damage pretty good there. Excellent. Captured it on turn 4, so I got a little bit of a bonus there. And I'll start... Ooh, hey. I'm going to move my guys out of the way so I can move my armor up there. Because now I'll be able to hurt some things. That guy out of the way. Move him back there. Move him up. Let's see, what do we got going on here? See, it's never quite exact like it says, so... And we're stuck. I don't think I can do anything else. So we'll end turn here. Okay, air attack. We're going to soften up. Oh, can I destroy it just with... Oh no, we'll soften him up. Oh yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Okay, Jaeger, moving him up. Okay, end turn. So I kind of got quiet there because I was focusing. I shouldn't have done that. I should keep talking. Well, hopefully now, get rid of him, and then move him. Shit, I'm going to have to move him up. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that, guys. For a brief second, the wife came out, Cannibal came out, and tripped over my cord and was talking to me, so I had to step away. So let's do some suppression. Oh, I like this. Oh yeah. Alright, let's use the armor to just roll through. Victory, score of 200 out of 300. Not as good as I'd like. I probably didn't need to buy the engineered portion. I didn't get Sevastopol in time. Or, I mean, sorry, Kerch. I am not sure how to do that in 2 turns. Was there something, like, could I have gone by sea? I'll have to play around with that. But I did win. Not as quick, though, as the Germans really did. It took me till June 27th. It only took the Germans till May 18th. But, you know, honestly, I'll take it. My Axis objectives, I got 120 out of 200. My prestige was 80, so that makes it 200 out of 300. I honestly feel pretty good. So the big things I learned, I don't necessarily have to upgrade my units if I don't have to, although maybe it did help me get Sevastopol because he did have the engineer ability. And also, just that I can learn to go quicker. So that'll be it for this one. It is a victory, 200 points. I'm fairly happy with. Okay, yeah, so we'll end our first game. The only thing else I haven't talked about is he had that exclamation point. It meant he was out of supplies, and it actually would be out of supplies in 2 turns. It would reduce his effectiveness. So I will let you guys go. I'll probably cut this up a little bit, and I hope to see you guys later. I hope this was semi-enjoyable. I like these kind of games. This will be a series of games like this, and I'll let you know for anything future coming up. Talk to you later.